Coming off a shutout in Detroit, 5-0 over the Red Wings. The Avs come back at home for the home and home against Detroit. And, well, they get shut out themselves, Spring 2-0 with an empty netter from Lucas Raymond at the end. There's a goal scored 46 seconds into this hockey game, and it stood the entire way. It was frustrating, to say the least, in the neutral zone, frustrating for the Avs in the offensive zone. John Gibson looked good, didn't have to be great, but looked good tonight. And the Avs, that great feeling that we felt over the weekend, well, good feeling is gone, as though we are in Finding Nemo and the light has gone out. One more game separates us from a 21-day hiatus, Mark Springer.
They need this break in the worst way. Even the guys who are going to play a little hockey in the Olympics, they aren't going to be playing like that much. Not as much as an NHL schedule. So some of them are going to get eliminated after the pool play or whatever the hell the first round is. They need this time off. They need to get to this break. They need to get Gabe Landeskog back. They need to get Marty Necas back. But I think that this is just a continuation of the homestand. Good win in Detroit, but you know, it's funny. I say, oh, hey, you know, they might have lost 7-3 three times, but they scored 3 goals in those 3 games. Tonight they scored 0. And it's kind of been trending in this direction. The offense is stalling as a whole a little bit. No, Necas is also part of a perfect recipe for this team to finally have a night where they just couldn't fucking score.
And it's obviously hasn't been those games where they're throwing 75 pucks at the net, and it feels like they were doing that every single game for the first 40 or so of this season. You get 59 shot attempts this evening for the Avalanche. 22 of them hit the net, and 20 of them were blocked. 20 of them were missed. 17 were blocked. That can't happen. That's the story of the game. I see a great comment in there. It would be real nice to get Cale Makar back. You know, the reason why Cale Makar isn't doing what he did at the beginning of the season, isn't doing what he did for the better part of last year, he can't hit the fucking net. I'm over it. He misses the net.
Corners.
Dude, he misses the net.
Yeah.
More than any defenseman, statistically. He misses the net more than any defenseman in the National Hockey League. That is a statistical fact. Now, he has the puck on his stick more than any defenseman in the National Hockey League. The other guys who will lead that category are Quinn Hughes and Zach Werenski. The guys who just always have the puck as defensemen. Cale misses the net more than any defenseman in the world, and that is a statistical fact, and it hurt them tonight. Cale had 2 shots on goal. He attempted 10. 7 of them missed the net.
Yeah, I know. I noticed a handful of them tonight. And yeah, he's just trying to pick corners, and he can do that. But and you've talked about this for several weeks now with Cale, and it was very noticeable tonight. And I think, you know, as a team, you know, okay. And one, you know, Detroit is making Colorado dump and chase tonight, and they're doing that clog the neutral zone style that, you know, hey, it's a strategy against the Avs, especially when you come into this building. And you get a lead. Well, let's just try to protect that lead because we got a lot of speed on the other side. So let's just try to neutralize that the rest of the way. See if we can pitch a shutout somehow. And hey, they did that. They became a defensive minded team. They were actually out shooting Colorado 19-11. Towards the end, maybe at the end of the first period, it ended up evening out kind of as the game went on. But I think a lot of that is Detroit just, you know, going into more of a defense mode. But okay, they're making it hard on you in the first place. You know, you got to forecheck a lot if you want to get the puck and get into your cycle. You also want to put pucks on net and fight in front with rebounds. You know, you shoot for rebounds. You know, you hit the goaltender shot on goal for rebounds. If you're missing the nets and hey, look, they got a ton of skill. Cale Makar has a ton of skill, but when you're missing nets, you're giving up possession if you don't pick those corners, because then, you know, your odds of winning those 50-50 pucks are just that, 50-50. If you put it on net, you know, at least you're in a high traffic area right in front of net where you got guys who can push guys around and maybe put something back in. If you're missing nets consistently, it just shows, man, they need to get to the break because they don't want to work hard. They don't want to go into that dirty area and work hard off of rebounds. Because you're not going to score every time if you're not trying to pick corners, but you are trying to keep the puck in play in a dangerous position. And they didn't want to work at it tonight.
Yeah, it's the missing the net kills me, man. It absolutely does. And I'll get into the power play. We'll talk about both of those opportunities today. One was horrendous and one was excellent. They both, like the other night, go over. We'll get into that momentarily, but I do want to continue talking about the fact that they feel as though they're trying to always walk the puck into the net or make sure that a puck glances off a post and into the back of the net rather than, like, I hate to say it, like, shoot for a 6-hole, shoot for a rib cage, shoot for the 6 inches below the kneecap of a goaltender and hope that something hits a pad and goes off of a skate at this point. I don't need you to put it into a corner from 45 feet away at this point, because what we saw tonight, again, like, Kale has a grade A scoring opportunity with the goaltender pulled down the right side, and missing the net not only goes high off the glass, it's essentially a turnover, right? Because you have to take the puck back into the neutral zone and you're killing time with that netminder pulled. It's killing me, man. And it's killing the team, the fact that they can't hit the net. And there's, honestly, you know what it's going to do? It'll cost Cale Makar a Norris Trophy this year if he can't find a way to simply hit the net.
I wonder what the odds on Cale Norris.
He used to be a runaway favorite. I guarantee he's not the favorite anymore.
Or something.
I guarantee he's not the favorite anymore.
And now he's lost well. Yeah, and this kind of extends for Cale. Really, I mean, as great as his numbers were to start the season, what were his numbers in the Stars series? 1 goal, I think one.
Yeah,
goal.
I thought it was an empty netter.
Yeah, I think it was too. Okay, he's down to minus 140, and Werenski's plus 110. And it's deja vu from last year, except it's kind of but it's different now. Werenski is closing in on Cale. Last year it was Cale closing in on Werenski. He might be giving this thing away here. His play's not great. His play's not great right now. It was both Cale and Nate that we were talking about recently, and Nate had the good game on Saturday.
I thought he was dangerous tonight, Nate.
He was. It
2 posts. It was great scoring
on
opportunity on the power play.
I thought he was more poppy on Saturday.
I mean, certainly he should have had a hat trick on Saturday. But I thought he was dangerous tonight. And there weren't many very dangerous players on the ice for Colorado. There weren't many dangerous players on the ice for either team tonight. And I thought he had the most dangerous opportunities for Colorado the entire evening. Obviously the little corral, that little curl and drag shot that he missed the net by like 3 inches. Again, another missed net. It ends up killing the Avs tonight, man. It sucks because Dallas wins a game and Minnesota wins a game. You still have plenty in hand in terms of points and games played against those two teams. So I'm not like too nervous whatsoever, but those teams continue to kind of like slowly ascend, and you have skyrocketed and you're starting to come back down the hill. We're trying to figure out where that happy medium is for Colorado, because they certainly are on that downslope.
If they had Marty Necas tonight, they would have lost 2-1 in overtime or a shootout. If they had Marty Necas, they would have gotten a point. It wouldn't have been enough to have won the game, because there is something going on right now. You can see it over the past 2 or so weeks when they play, maybe more, a week and a half, kind of middle back of the homestand through the road trip, continuing tonight, where they look like they want to get to that break. They look tired.
They want to get to the break so bad.
They look like they achieved so much, and they're like, where's our reward? Oh, you mean that it's not until months from now? Because gosh, they were giving everything, and you can only do that for so long. But if Nate just played, it would have been enough to get that equalizing goal. And we've seen them do that of late, get back into games, but they're flat right now. So they would have found the game tying goal if Nate just played tonight. Because I think that tonight you saw it hurt the top line. Nate didn't have that dangerous player next to him. He
Right.
needs someone. Every superstar has somebody next to him that you're like, oh yeah, this dude's pretty damn good too. And that's Marty Necas. They would have scored, but 3-on-3 overtime and the shootout would have done him in. And it's not just their lack of excellence in those frames. They quite frankly suck in overtime and shootout, particularly the shootout. There's just
they've gotten better at 3-on-3
right
overtime
now that would have done them in either way.
I think Nate just may have made a difference. I can't guarantee it.
I think he would have. Obviously,
having another star in there. Having another star in there.
Game, Raj. We would have been graced with a 1-1 game.
Having another star in there in a 1-0, that's essentially what tonight was. It was a 1-0 hockey game with an empty netter. It certainly wouldn't have hurt. I don't think that this game, despite being 1-0 and only combining for, was it 49 total shots or something, maybe a little bit south of that for the two teams, it didn't feel like it was a slow hockey game. I thought there was a lot of pace to it. I actually enjoyed it. I didn't hate how Colorado played tonight. I thought the majority of players were uninspiring on the offensive side. I still thought that they were going to find a way to break through. Maybe one more power play would have done it. The first one was horrendous. So you couldn't even get into the zone on the first power play, and we will get into the zone entry momentarily. Second unit comes out. McKinnon stays out there. They get one shot based off of Brent Burns corralling a puck and then moving it back out to Nate. First power play was terrible. There's no data there for me to go, oh, hey, look what they tried. The second power play that they ran when they were in zone with that first unit, they immediately went to that box plus one that I talked about. And there were chances. I know they didn't score. There were chances. They had the Nelson one-timer at the end that got blocked that would have been a grade A opportunity. It was a bomb. It gets blocked. They had the Valnichushkin shot on the doorstep, which is, and you can look at the Avs. Like, the way that I'm looking at this is from a pure X's and O's and process standpoint. The way that they walked through the puck movement and the shot opportunities on that second power play with the box plus one is, as a coach, exactly what I want. Am I losing my fucking mind going over video at Valnichushkin going like, pick your head up and just shoot the damn puck there? Why are you trying to make the extra pass down low? All you have to do is corral it. And if your head is up when you corral that puck, you're not trying to slide it over to Nathan McKinnon. You're shooting. Right. So what that kills me, that is an individual problem for Valnichushkin, not realizing where he is on the ice, not looking before the puck comes over, and then panicking to try and get it over to Nathan McKinnon. The process, however, was fantastic. Like, to get the puck there for a grade A scoring opportunity. They moved it down low. They were able to get to the bumper, shrink that zone, and then make the cross-ice pass. The same thing happened with Nathan McKinnon and his shot on that second power play. It was a grade A scoring opportunity. Probably should have gone against the grain, but Gibson comes over, makes a good, like, reaching glove save across his face. For the 31st best power play in the league, the second worst best power play in the league, I need to be process driven. I can't be results driven because they're not a results power play team. You have to look for, is the process getting better? And then the results can come, which is why I'm like, stick with this box plus one for 10 fucking games. Even if it goes 0 for 4 against San Jose, if the process continues to look good, stick with it. Sorry, that's a very long way for me to talk about the power play.
No. Look, yeah, I like the system they've ran the past couple games without Marty Necas. I'm watching that Red Wings power play tonight, and you know what looks really good? And they don't score on the power play tonight either, but when I see Patrick Kane on that right wing, 1 year, $3 million deal that Detroit got Patrick Kane on. Huh. Man, if that was on the Avs right wing on their power play.
Yeah, it'd be nice.
It's not Mikko, but you know
he's
what?
a Detroit kid. I say that. He's almost 40.
Mil. And he can still play. I mean, he's not. It's kind of like Brent Burns is 9 goals. And he's 41, just turned 41, and Kane's like 36, 37. But still, it's like, yeah, you can still go. You're not going to go at your peak clip, but you can still go. Yeah, I'd love a shot like that on the right side. I think they're still missing. They're still trying to figure that out. How do we get dangerous with the one-timers on Nate's offside? Brock Nelson's doing an admirable job, but man, if you could unlock that.
But that's the thing with the power plays. They're no longer looking to force the one-timers, and I love that. Right? The reason why the power play was so elite for 5 years, and it was fucking elite. If you're trying to tell me that it wasn't, it was. It was a top 5 power play. It was literally number 5 in the NHL over the last 5 seasons combined. And you had a Hall of Famer, Mikko Rantanen, on the right side as a left-handed shot. That's the reason why you went 1-3-1, because the 1-3-1 is designed to create one-time opportunities, whether it's from Kale to the outside or it goes Kale to McKinnon, McKinnon across. It is designed for one-timers. The box plus one is designed to get pucks to the net and then have people crash. I want them to do that now because they don't have the elite one-timer on the right side as a lefty. They don't have that guy in the lineup right now. So why not use 6'4" Nichushkin, 6'4" Brock Nelson, scrum player, net front guy, Arturi Lehkonen, or when he comes back, Gabe Landeskog. I would prefer to use all 3 of those lefties and get the puck moving side to side and then have Nate. Again, it's just hit the fucking net on a box plus one and create chaos in front. Like it is so drastically different. And I see, Mel, you're making ridiculous comments in on the YouTube comments. If your eyes can't tell you that the setup that they've employed over the last 2 games is different from the 1-3-1, I can't fucking teach hockey to you. I'm trying, but I can't.
Sure. Yeah. They've sprinkled it in every now and again, but they don't go with their old 1-3-1 formation because they don't have Mikko. But I don't know, maybe make Natchez more of a staple on that right side when he gets back, and he's not the left-handed shot, but it's a wing. He's a little more poppy, with his release.
But like, has the power play not looked better without him? It has. You've been begging for Natchez to be off the power play, and now you want him back. What's going on with you?
You're right, and I wouldn't hate. And I actually, to be honest, I would prefer if they kind of kept him off. I would, but forecasting that they're probably going to put him back on when he gets back.
Yeah.
So if they're going to do that, if you must, then if Jared Bednar and Dave Hackstall must, then maybe try him on the right. Just get him more of a staple on the right side. And yeah, it's not the left-handed shot, and it's a little further to net, but at least he's got a release. And again, you mentioned Landeskog, his ability to float net front to right wing and have good, smooth, as tight as possible, point A to point B movement, knowing when to rotate and pick his spots because that IQ he has. They missed that. And then Landeskog needs to be on power play 1, and he needs to be on that top line with McKinnon and Natchez. But we are T-minus 2 games, Raj, as long as everything goes according to plan. In fact, why am I even saying 2? We're 2 games from now. We're 1 game. We just got to get through 1 more game. And then as long as the worst DEF CON doesn't happen, I believe, is that 5? I've been told it might not be 5. But either way, barring nightmare scenario, everyone's back.
I feel like I should know this, the DEF CON levels.
Yeah, I feel like I said 5 one time, and someone was like, actually, DEF CON 5 is not the worst DEF CON. I'm like, okay.
DEF CON 1 is the worst one.
See, no,
DEF CON 5 is the least one.
No, it
DEF CON 1 is nuclear war imminent.
Okay, DEF CON 1 doesn't sound 5. I need to go up. Like my heat meter goes up. 5 should be the worst. Gabe Landeskog is playing 2 games from now for the Avs.
Yeah,
now several weeks will have passed,
and he'll have worn the 3 crowns of Sweden multiple times prior to that.
Yes, he will be a medalist. I believe Sweden will medal. Bronze at worst for Sweden. Gabe Landeskog's going to get a medal. And he's playing in 2 games. Just got to get through the Sharks, and Gabe Landeskog is back.
Mel, I love you. Thank you for your passion watching the show.
And they're going to look, you watch there, especially after Gabe gets his feet under him playing for Sweden. So he's not going to have that like true rust of first game back. You'll notice a difference. And everyone watching, you're going to notice a difference when Gabe Landeskog is back.
I really would have liked 4 points going into the break to maintain that type of break as DMAC comes in. What are the odds, everyone, that DMAC shuts our stream off this time?
What's up, guys? Of course, could I hear you? No, of course. And I'm going to try to not end your broadcast, so hopefully you can hear me. And we'll see how I do here. Maybe you can just get rid of me, or I'll just stand here and say nothing because I don't want to interrupt you. But I'll let you know. The mood after the game tonight was, it was like deathly quiet. And only Parker Kelly and Montaves spoke, and it was mumbles at best. Taves was fine with it. Of course, he's back out and starting, and they give up a goal in 33 seconds. That sucked. It's the power play thing is just so annoying, and it's not like they had a lot of chances on that, but a couple, right? And they just can't get it done, and nobody really has an answer for it. Nobody. Jared Bednar doesn't. None of the players have an answer for it. Nobody. And tonight it hurt you. Blackwood actually played all right, I thought. So did Jared Bednar. Said he played great. The other thing here tonight, fellas, was, it was large in terms of a Red Wings takeover with the fans. It was really noticeable. That might have been the most noticeable I've ever seen for an opposing fan base for whatever reason. But I did ask Bednar about it, and he said not a big deal. And I talked to Riker about it, Mark Rycroft about it too, and he agreed. He just said, listen, you just can't tell that on the ice. It's just not a factor. And I didn't know if that might have something to do with energy. The building was electric at the beginning of the game. And after that, a lot of times this felt like let's just be honest with you, a Red Wings home game. But again, Bedsy said that just wasn't a factor. And like I said again, Riker said, nah, you just don't notice stuff like that. So with that being said, I guess don't be afraid to play on the road. It's just not that big of a deal. So that's kind of the report here. You shut them out 5-0, then you get shut out. And that's just the way it goes. So try it again on Wednesday against the Sharks before they take a nice 3-week break. So I'm going to try to end this without shutting off your whole broadcast. So you guys talk, and I will try to do the right thing.
Can he do it? Can he do it is the question mark. Is the show going to end? We're still here, Spring.
I'm optimistic.
We're still here.
I feel like...
Is the show going to end? I feel like I need a drum roll.
Man, seeing Frozen DMAC has me... Okay. Oh, yes?
I have removed DMAC from the stage.
Okay, good.
But I don't know if we're out of the woods just yet.
You're right.
Because I think he's
in.
DMAC is still in the background of things right now, and he could just kill it in the background. He's lurking. He's a gremlin in the system.
I can see him lurking. Actually, he's now off screen, but we can still see him. We are not out of the woods yet, and he's.
We're certainly not out of the
Lights
woods.
Are like he's still figuring out what to do.
You know what you just need to do? I don't know. I think he's on his phone. Just like swipe up on the phone, like right. Turn the application off.
To hit the wrong button, so he.
Bet he says Control Alt Delete. I really hope it doesn't end the broadcast again, man. I was heated with the power play. It's because I see some things working, man. Like I do, and it sucks because they're so terrible on the power play and they haven't scored at all that you like all you want is a result. I'm just trying to tell everyone that like if they're going to change things, it might take a little while for this to actually come to fruition. And I don't want to be that guy because I don't think that you can go 32nd, 31st in the NHL in the power play and just turn it on in the playoffs. But it just kind of matters what you do in the playoffs. If they run it 20% in the postseason, they're going to win a cup.
I want to react to a couple of things that DMAC talked about. First, the Red Wings fans in attendance, which can lead in a couple directions. Look, they're one of the original six. They are a storied franchise. They are a recognizable brand. One of the most recognizable brands in the NHL. And it's honestly kind of unfortunate that they haven't been, for the sport, for the league, that they haven't been great for like the past decade. But
yes,
now they're getting better. I just had you come through my speakers and it threw me the fuck off. They're one of those national fan bases. Like, how do the Green Bay Packers have so many fans? It's fucking Green Bay, Wisconsin, because the Packers have been around. You know, they won the first Super Bowl. They're just a marquee brand. People grow up. You don't even have to live in those areas, but you just somehow, there's a lot of people who grew up in the 90s and around that era, and the Red Wings were one of the best teams, and you could live in Kansas and you're just like, well, I don't have a team. Well, I kind of like those they got cool jerseys. That wheel logo is kind of cool, good colors. So there's a ton of fans, and look, when they're better now, especially, and when they see their Red Wings on the schedule, they go buy the tickets. And yeah, they live in Denver because it's a great place to live, and they still love their team. And that's what happens. The Red Wings are one of those teams. But guess what, dude? Valeri Nichushkin, we've had a couple of people point this out. He gets tossed at the end of this game because he breaks his twig over the post after the empty net goal. And then Dylan Larkin, because that stick like breaks off, and I guess it's really clean fiber wood glass, whatever the hell they make those things out of. But
carbon fiber.
Carbon fiber. I knew fiber was in there somewhere. That's wood. That's shattering. Lucas Raymond's right there. And it's like, what the hell? Dylan Larkin's like, what the hell, dude? And he gives Nichushkin a nice little love tap on the shins. I guess Nichushkin got tossed, but okay, we got some heat. We got some heat between the two teams that are part of the greatest rivalry, the greatest rivalry in modern history in the NHL for sure. They could be in a cup final in the not too distant future. And you want to revive that thing? That's how you do it, is they got to get in a cup final together.
Yeah, I think Detroit is good enough to get through the East. They would need some help. Like, someone has to take out Tampa Bay, and Florida either has to be taken out or Florida has to be injured. Tampa's a wagon, man. Like, if you want to power rank the teams in the NHL right now, I think I put Tampa Bay ahead of Colorado. I put Tampa
down
1, Colorado 2.
They were down 5-1 last night against Boston, who is the most penalized team in the league and ate a ton. And hey, you want to talk about the power play, though, helping you out? Tampa scores 3 straight power play goals to get back in that game.
Yeah, it helps when you have Nikita Kucherov taking one-timers, doesn't it?
So yeah, that left-handed side, yeah, that's a good thing to have.
And like they run the 1-3-1 because, well, they have a reliable one-time option on both sides, and it works for them. Again, I still think Colorado is making a few changes, and I want them to continue doing that. Yeah, holy crap, is John Cooper got the Tampa Bay Lightning playing the right way. Fun game.
Did you see John Cooper's? They were all in these like fedoras and like
like Miami Vice City type of things.
Yeah, I guess Miami Vice, like gangster almost. Like Vegas-y. Like they were gonna go lay down on the roulette table or something.
They were gonna go to the Palm Royale.
Yeah, something like that. Look like some like 80s pimps, perhaps.
Yeah.
on South
It was
Beach.
it was a really entertaining outdoor game for a Stadium Series game.
Oh, I
thought the
it.
jersey matchup was really cool.
I like, look, they were down 5-1. I do think that East is open. The East, someone could come out of Detroit could come out of the East. That would not shock me. It's one of those years and one of those conferences where someone could come out and establish themselves and be like, oh shit, Montreal's in the Cup Finals. Oh shit, Detroit's in the Cup Finals. Like, that could happen. I think they lose to the Western Conference team, all said and done. Or it could be Tampa. Or it could be Florida with Matthew Tkachuk back.
I mean, Florida's got to make the playoffs. That's the thing.
It could be Carolina. That could be their breakthrough finally. Carolina would be the most chalky, though, of the breakthrough teams.
San Jose comes to town. Young, plucky team. Is this a game where you think they're going to hang over into Wednesday because of tonight's loss and because of the looming 21-day hiatus? Like, Wednesday feels like a game. You said this prior to Detroit. You were like, I think they could probably lose one of these or maybe both of these games on the back half of the that little 4-game road trip. I feel this way about Wednesday's game because of how good San Jose is and how ready this entire Avs team is to get the hell out of Dodge for 3 weeks and then come back and reset the season.
Yeah, look, if the Avs aren't careful, Macklin Celebrini and Will Smith will come in here and fucking beat you. Like, that is very much so in the realm of possibility. But I think it's a win. I think it's an Avs win. I will actually borderline be shocked if it's not. Like, much like how they rebounded and, coming off the Montreal game and beat Detroit 5-0. And this is this is your last game for a while for most of these guys. And it's a younger team that you should beat on your ice. And yes, and I was also going to point out, thank you, Benny, in the chat, Blackhawks beat the Sharks 6-3 tonight. Now, again, if you're not careful, that really doesn't matter. San Jose could easily come in here and win, but you should win. You should beat and if you don't, that's concerning. Now, the good news is you get like 2-3 weeks to wash that awful, because that'll be an awful taste.
That would be terrible. Yeah, you would not feel good.
Yeah, I'm not freaking out tonight, and I really wouldn't freak out because I understand how good this team is on paper, but I would understand for sure. I'd be like, oh, shit. Okay, that's not good. You went 3-2-2 on your last homestand. You go 0-2 to finish out at home before the break. Yeah, that would be a bad look. Devon Toews will be a second game back. I think that, you need to get him back in. You need to get their feet under him. Toews' second game back. Look for him to be an impact. I wouldn't be surprised at all if Devon Toews contributes offensively in that game. Helps take some pressure off of Cale, who might be feeling like he's had to do a lot, with Devon Toews out. He hasn't had his guy. Think about that with Cale's poor play. He hasn't had his guy next to him.
Cale had that weird, it's so funny. It comes down to one play where like Devon makes a bad step in the neutral zone on his first shift back in action. And then Cale gets caught between trying to go long body, like either go long body or don't. And long body is like laying down on the ice and taking away the on ice cross ice pass. And like guys in the NHL are good enough that you can sauce that puck up and over. But like Cale goes down and then he kind of gets back up and it creates this like, it's not even a triangle. It creates these like 3 different areas where the puck can either get through his skate on the net side, can get through both of his skates in the middle, and then it can get through his skate and his extended hand and stick on the ice. It was this weird, like, I'm not going, but I am going, but I'm not going, but I'm not going down. Like, it was just, he got caught in between for some reason. Like, either go down or don't.
Well, I also would not be surprised if we see Cale's play tick back up. Now he's got Devon Toews back, and it's more comfortable on both ends of the ice. Maybe he's been running ragged. I mean, who's he even been playing with, really?
Everybody but Brent Burns.
I've noticed him with Burns on the PK. I think that Manson is just because Manson was in the box. Now that I think about it, yeah, it's kind of amazing. I haven't even really noticed because it feels like Manson and Burns are always out there together. I still notice Gerard and Malinsky, and yet they're mixing in Keaton Middleton and Sean and Solovyov when he was here, and it's just like, oh yeah, like Kale, like who's helping him out? Like what's going? And yet he's getting 25 minutes a night. It's just weird. Like whoever's been out there with him has been like a non-factor. It's not setting Kale up. It's not helping Kale out. You need Devon Taves, and you got to get a game under your belt. This is again why I said I'm glad that Landeskog is actually going to get Sweden games before coming back after a layoff due to injury. Gabe's first game back, then you got to get your feet under you. Go play for Sweden. That's where you get your feet under you. And then he comes back, and whoever, I haven't even looked at the schedule, whoever they have game one after the break, Gabe Landeskog's rearing to go, Devon Taves is rearing to go. And see, that's the thing. Again, they're going to be completely healthy first 2 games from now. And that's where I'm not overall overly concerned about this team. Projecting what they're going to look like when they're fully healthy, knowing they're going to make moves at the deadline. And let's talk about this, man. I mean, I'm noticing this looking at the box score tonight. This is big, especially when you're without Gabe and now Natchez. The guy, we really need to talk about him because he's not doing a goddamn thing. And I'm not trying to pick on him, but he's the guy that, maybe he's going to elevate. Gavin Brindley, 847 tonight, -1, 0 shots on goal.
When's the last time he scored?
They need to make a move because for a minute there, it looked like Gavin Brindley was going to be like that. Holy shit, we struck gold card. And that's
maybe a rookie wall is hitting right now.
Got to be a rookie wall. This is my concern in the offseason. How are they going to replace Charlie Coyle? Well, turns out Gavin Brindley is fucking Jesus until he's not anymore.
Have you seen that they are linked to maybe getting Charlie Coyle back?
I had not seen that.
And I don't think it would cost all that much to get Charlie Coyle again.
I'd like it.
Like a few mid-round picks. I would bring back Charlie Coyle on a rental basis to go, you want to come play third line center? I'll take you.
I'd take it all day. I wondered, how are they going to replace that guy? Gavin Brindley looked like maybe it was the insta replacement in that trade itself. Maybe not so much, but look, young guy, he's developing. They're going to make moves. Maybe it's Coyle. It's going to be somebody. And this is we are seeing them become who they really are, which is the best team in the league, but by like 0.1%. Dallas and Minnesota are right behind them. They're the best team in the league, but the margins are extremely thin. Whoever they get in the second round, that's 6, probably 7 games. This is not going to be 16-4 if they win a cup again. It's tight. Everything is extremely tight, but they are still the best team in the league. They are.
Tampa's the best team in the league right now.
Wow,
Tampa Bay is the best team in the league right now. Colorado's number 2 with this regression. They're right there. Tampa Bay is the best team in the league right now.
I'm looking at this as injuries and an expected lull because
Tampa Bay did it without Ryan McDonough and Victor Hedman. Victor Hedman's been healthy for the last 3 games. And Tampa Bay has gone. Tampa's so good.
G. Bruin says
so good.
The margins didn't used to be thin. What changed? No, they've always been thin. We were just riding a high of holy shit, this team can't lose. Oh my God, they're amazing. They're gonna go 80-0-2. No, that was fun, and they're capable of playing like that, but there is an you can't sustain that. Not in the salary cap era, not with injuries, not in an 82-game season. The margins were always thin.
Yeah.
It's like, wow, Edmonton is they're the second to worst team in the Pacific. Snap your fingers, 3 weeks later, they're in first. Yeah. That's how it goes.
I saw a couple of comments after you were detailing Kale not playing well and Kale not having help, and a couple of them like, why does Kale need someone to play well alongside him? Guys, all of the great defensemen, most of the great defensemen in this game's history have had elite players playing alongside them. Like, you know what? How's this? Let's throw out who's the last like generational defenseman that we saw in the league, and it's probably really fitting because he was a Detroit Red Wing.
Yeah,
It was Nicholas Lidstrom, right?
Mhm.
The last guy to win all of those Norris trophies, and I don't know if he ever won a Conn Smythe, but multiple Stanley Cups. Nicholas Lidstrom. He is as complete a defenseman as there's ever been in this game. You know who his defenseman partners were for years? Paul Coffey, Hall of Famer.
Mhm.
Larry Murphy, Hall of Famer. Matthew Schneider, I don't think he's a Hall of Famer, but I think he's Hall of Very Good.
Well, Taves isn't going into the Hall of Fame.
He's not, but like he also had Brian Rafalski. Like
Rafalski,
all of the names, and I think Rafalski's a Hall of Famer too. Either that or he's Hall of Very Good. Rafalski's certainly a U.S. Hockey Hall of Famer. Like all of those dudes that he played with are all elite guys. Most of the best defensemen in the world have been paired with other not generational talents, but guys who are also very good. So it's not like, I don't know, like who was Ray Bork playing with when he was here? Was he with Blake? I can't remember that far back.
I can't remember either. I'm sure they play. I would imagine you played Blake and Bork together. Adam Foote you're playing with, who's very good, was very good. Yeah, and that look, Taves is the only one that can truly play with Kale, that can work that magic, Look, other guys can do it in moments and flashes, but you got to realize like how high of a level that puck movement is, and that speed is, and that timing is, and the placement is, knowing where your pass, leading the pass, and where's my guy going to be so I hit him in stride, hit him right on the tape. And that's where you enter Devon Taves. When it's Kale, Taves, Nate, Natchez, and Landeskog, holy shit. I mean, and if there's one guy out there who's not quite on that level, all it takes is one flub and you fucked your offensive sequence.
Yeah, they need to make changes, right? They need to get healthy, and then they need to make some changes. They need to trade for a third line center who is worth a damn, and they need to trade for a larger bodied left-handed defenseman, and then they need to get Gabe and Natchez and obviously Devon Taves coming back, and the hope is Logan O'Connor plays at some point this season. Those are the changes you need to make. And I think I want a box +1 on the power play. I could be wrong. I'm not an NHL coach, but for the 2 games, I know they're 0 for 4. I saw 3 of the 4 power plays that I liked, and they primarily used a box +1. So those are my hopes. Those are my changes that I would like to see implemented. I'm not trying to make excuses. I'm trying to tell you what I would change for this team.
Yeah. Look, you say Tampa's the best team in the league. I still believe Colorado is the best team in the league. It's tight though. It's these playoffs are, look at my Ducks. My Ducks have fallen. They're hanging on for their playoff lives right now. We are entering the time of year, and it's crazy this thing is about to shut down. We got a government shutdown coming here in the NHL, because we are getting to the time where, and you're playing these teams that they're fighting for position. They're fighting for their playoff lives. So now it goes beyond, you come to Colorado. I want to win in Ball Arena. I want to beat the best team in the league and the best team at home in their building. They got their own agendas now. You face a Utah, you face a Nashville right now. They're fighting for the 8th seed. You face all these teams. They're fighting for something right now. It is tight. Everything is brutal right now. So I can't wait. Health's the most important thing. Don't get it twisted. Health is still the most important thing. You have got to be as healthy as humanly possible for game 1 of the Stanley Cup playoffs. That is by far and away the most important thing.
All right, Spring, Wednesday night, final game before the Avs head off for a 21-day break for the Milan Cortina Winter Olympics. Opening ceremonies are on the 5th. The first American game is the 12th. We went through this a couple of days ago.
Yep, I believe it's the 12th.
We've got some watch parties on the 14th and the 15th. I'll be hosting one of those guys. Can't wait for it. Again, if you have not watched The Boys of 80 on Netflix and you guys want to get juiced up for some Olympic hockey, go watch The Boys of 80. Avs fall 2-0. Disappointing, without a doubt. And a really bad month of January bleeds into the beginning of February for them. Hopefully they can get back on track, win a game, and then leave for 3 weeks. But that'll do it for us for spring. I'm Raj. This is Between the Pipes.